Hi, I'm Javante Thomas, and I'm your host of this edition of Demon Life. I'm joined today with NSU student Pearlie Jones. Pearlie, thank you for joining me today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So you are very, very involved on campus. You're the president of Demon Support Demons. So just tell me a little bit about that organization.
Well, Demon Support Demons is a group that we created to raise awareness of sexual assault and educate students on what consent is. And we just want to get the campus more aware of, those things that go on. And we want to let students know how to report and, situations like that.
So you're the president, but what was your actual role in as far as Demon Support Demons goes?
Well, Demon Support Demons started off as a project. We were in this communications class, and I think it was COM 3120. But the assignment was for us to help Title IX and create a memorandum of understanding with, our city officials and people on campus and nurses on how to handle sexual assault. So me and a few other of my classmates, we decided that we would turn this into a school effort. We wanted everyone to be involved because we realized how important this topic was. So we went through the ropes, of creating this RSO, and Miss Lori LeBlanc is our advisor, our RSO advisor. So it was great.
This is something that was really needed on campus, I think. So how difficult was it to, create an organization? You have to write your own bylaws, you have to get, members and form committees. So how difficult was that?
It was not very difficult to do such because everyone was so passionate about the issue. So it didn't take us really long to put everything together, because we were so passionate, we worked very hard. But as far as getting members, we struggled a little bit in the beginning because, when it comes down to sexual assault, everybody's like, oh, this is a touchy topic and no one really wants to deal with it. So after a while, people start to see our events and they were drawn to us because they realized we don't just focus on, one thing, we also focus on what sexual consent is and stuff. So a lot of people wanted to be included.
So what exactly is sexual consent?
Sexual consent is a verbal agreement. Well, sometimes it's verbal, sometimes it's nonverbal. It's just basically giving an agreement to someone during sex, like what you want and what you do not want, that type of thing. And you cannot give sexual consent if you've been drinking, or you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs,
So if someone, let's say, two people are at a party or something and there's alcohol involved, so whatever transpires after the party, that's not consent, even because they're not in
a sober mindset to give a simple yes or a no. So it's not consent.
Okay. And how have you guys been involved on campus? What events have you guys hosted so far?
Well, just recently we had a slut walk, which is, it's about victim blaming. During when someone comes forth and say they were raped, it's a lot of the times where the people say, oh, what did she have on? Where was she? They ask questions like that. But that's really a victim blaming mindset because no matter what a woman wears, no matter where she goes, she does not need to be sexually assaulted. She doesn't deserve it.
And back to victim blaming, is that something, do you think people do that intentionally, or are they just not understanding what they're saying?
I think a lot of people simply aren't educated on what victim blaming is. They don't know what's proper to say when dealing with a situation like that. So that's how I feel about it.
So how do we make, our society more informed about it? How do we go from not being informed about it to being able to, talk to our victims, be able to help our victims?
Well, I think that if we all open our minds and if we put ourselves in the victim's shoes, what happened to them, and think, what if it was us, and like that, then maybe we could move past the victim blaming. Because as in the words of Lady Gaga, until it happens to you, you don't know how it feels or what's it's like, to be sexually assaulted. So if we were to put ourselves in these people's shoes, we wouldn't have things to say like, oh, what was she wearing, or where was she going, or she shouldn't have did this or shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying?
And I remember last semester you guys had an event, and I think it was called "In Their Shoes." And I remember, people, marched around campus wearing high heels. So, what exactly was that event?
Okay, Walk a Mile in Her Shoes was an event that Demon Support Demons put together with Theta Chi, and it was basically an event to, let everyone do a walk of awareness for sexual assault. And all the men and some women, they wear high heels, to support, the women who've been sexually assaulted.
Okay. And you guys have really just been speaking about awareness. You guys have really just like spread awareness around campus. At first it was kind of just like we had Title IX in our course curriculum, but now we have an organization. You guys are giving away T-shirts. I have one of your great T-shirts in my closet right now. I think I wore it yesterday. So, what more are you guys trying to do as far as awareness goes?
Well, we're still planning. You have to stick around to find out.
Okay. And you guys have great support from the administration. You guys have Dean Conan. You guys have Lori LeBlanc. So how does it feel like to have the entire administration having your back?
It feels great to know that if something happens to a student, everyone is on board and ready to tackle the situation. That's very important for a victim to feel that someone cares. And the support Dean Conan and Miss Lori give us is amazing. Like they make everyone feel welcome to share their stories and report, most importantly.
And so, back to the victims. What is, after the sexual assault, what are the first steps?
After the sexual assault, you can either report to Dean Conan, or you can report to the counselors on campus, or even the university police.
Okay, and so what exactly is like the reporting? Like, is it just like a form? Like, what is that? Like, what is the process?
It is a form that you fill out, and it's basically talking just like you and I are talking. You're going to give the details in the story like that, or as far as you want to go to the dean or the counselor or the police or whoever else.
Okay, so it's pretty much up to the victim as far as like how far they want to go with it.
It's pretty much up to the victim.
So why is it that is so underreported? Is like, where is like the fear in it?
The fear is a lot of students have a fear that they will be retaliated against by administrators, but that's not what we do here. They have a fear that they'll be retaliated against by the students if they speak out about what has happened to them, but there are policies on campus, to keep things like that from happening.
Okay, and also one thing that you guys do a great job with bystander awareness. So what exactly is it to be a bystander?
To be a bystander, is to basically know your surroundings and know the other person's surroundings, and don't just watch something bad happen to someone. Like, say for instance, we're at a bar and I see this guy harassing another lady. He's constantly asking her, "Let me take you home," when he knows she's under the influence. I could go over and be like, "Hey, would you like to ride home with me?" Or or veer him away from her, or veer her away from him rather. Yes.
All right. And so how do we get away from that like bystander culture? Because we have that mindset where it's kind of just like, we stick to ourselves, or like, like that's not my friend, or that's not someone that I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do we get the courage to like, you guys had a lot of courage to start this organization. So how do we get that kind of courage? Did you guys
Everyone should get that courage because, as I explained to you earlier, we should all put ourselves in those shoes. That maybe it's not your friend, or maybe it's not your sister or someone related to you, but it very well could be. What would you want to be done if that was your relative? What if it was your relative and they were alone and someone was doing that? Wouldn't you want somebody to stand up and speak and take up for your little sister or, your friend if you weren't there?
And if you could leave NSU with a legacy that you left behind, like from this organization, like what is one thing that you want to leave students with, like from your involvement in Demon Support Demons?
I just want people to keep doing awareness events for the students. I want everybody to stay active in school and stay assertive, basically.
And if a student wants to get involved in Demon Support Demons, how do they get involved?
Well, we have meetings every Wednesday at 5:30 in room in room 320 of the Student Union, and everybody's welcome, male and females.
All right. Thank you so much, Pearlie, for joining me today. And I'm Javante Thomas. I was your host of Demon Life. Thank you so much for watching.